when their guy plays some games. Alright, hi everybody, Weather Guy here. We are back with some more great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and you see before you the box. And exactly what's in the box. And I said this at the end of the last video, but my theory is that in this box it's a music box, and that it'll play what's on the disc. That's what I think it is. I think that's the significance of it, because you need it to go with the disc, right? Because each the discs are unique to certain kinds of boxes, right? And Herlock Sholmes had looked all over to find a box that matched the disc, and he couldn't do it. So I feel like it might be a unique one-to-one match sort of thing. So that's what I'm hoping it is. But we'll see. Let's see what happens. So this is the article in question, is it? The small box departed with the pawnbroker by Mr. McGilda 2 months ago. And on the night of Mr. Windermake's murder, the only item on the shelves that was touched by whoever broke into the shop. Quick, let's open it and see what's inside. I thought I knew it. Oh wait, it is, isn't it? Good gracious, this is no ordinary box, it seems. Wow, although in truth, I had an inkling that might be the case. It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement. Then, is it too much to expect? I think it would be reasonable to assume that it is a device for the playback of this disc, my lord. Oh man, are we gonna finally hear what's on the frickin' disc? That's exciting. So here we have the means to play back Mr. McGilda's disc, deposited at Winderbank's at much the same time. Not strictly correct, my lord. It was not McGilda's disc. It was the disc of his victim in the omnibus. This is correct. But why, for heaven's sake? Are we to understand that the brickmaker was trying to sell this music box disc to McGilda? I mean, I really wonder why Graydon and Inspector Gregson were whispering to each other last time. It makes me so nervous that they're about to screw everything up for us. I believe the answer will become clear if we listen to the music on the disc, my lord. Yes, very well. Let the court now listen to this curious disc at last. Hold it! Here it is. His voice is like that? Hold it! No way. No way. Wait, my lord. Good grief, what is the meaning of this, Inspector? The music box and the disc are, well, they're unrelated to the case. No need to spoil the somber atmosphere in the courtroom with some silly bit of music. Objection. He's lying. This disc may very well have motivated the culprit in this case to commit murder. Clearly, there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to understanding what happened. The prosecution has no objection. But no, that piece of evidence is police property now, you can't... Clearly Scotland Yard has some vested interest here. Dude, Van Zieks is spitting fire. But it is policy of this prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening. This is good. No further delays, please. Play the disc. Let's go. Let's hear it. I wonder if this is not music, but more like Morse code. What on earth? That's certainly not what I would call music. No? It's just the same note playing over and over again in an irregular sequence. Ha 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 ha. Mr. Graydon, this really is priceless. Man, I hate this guy. After all that, the music box is broken. Broken? It can't be, can it? Well, obviously. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the officer sent to fetch it didn't drop it on the way back to the courtroom. Well, with much regret, I feel the court must accept that this music box offers little in the way of clues. Oh, it's definitely Morse code. Are you ready to move on, counsel? Come on. Yes, alright, it does sound as though it's completely broken, but is it? It's definitely a new clue. I believe that it could be relevant, my lord. Good lord, but how can it be? It's an abomination, counsel, mere noise. I fail to see how it can have any meaning whatsoever. It does sound strange, I agree. There's one thing bothering me. While Graydon stands there chortling victoriously, the inspector beside him has a rather telling expression on his face. It's as if Gregson recognizes the sound, as if he's familiar with it somehow. That's making him appear extremely on edge. If that's the stance of the fence, my Nipponese friend, answer me this. Oh. Come on, we know what it is. It's Morse code. Just what relevance do you propose this woeful chiming has on this case? Not supposed to be music. Just because this is a music box, it doesn't necessarily mean the sounds we're hearing are music. Look at that, the smile vanished from Graydon's lips as soon as I said it. Yeah, Graydon knows it's Morse code as well. I'm on the right lines here, I must be. Making deductions based on how people react to what you say. You're acting just like Hurley, Runo. The sounds we're hearing aren't necessarily music. Well, now that you've told us what they are not, I'm sure the court would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, my Nipponese friend. Well, surely you have an idea in mind, because if not, it will be the death of your ill-formed argument. Exactly. The music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that fact is pure foolishness. Got me, I don't know what the answer is. Yet. Runo? I just examined the music box very thoroughly, from way over here, and I'm fairly certain that it's not broken at all. Really? Really, the way it's been made, it can only produce a single note anyway. Thank you, Iris. This is good to know. Come on. Let me just say Morse code. Alright, well if the music box isn't broken, it must mean that the sounds it's producing have some significance that isn't musical. They're really holding our hand through this one. It's okay. Ah! Could it be? Is that what these sounds are? Something's just struck me, Runo. I feel like recently, in the past few hours even, I've heard another sound very much like the one this music box makes. Oh, the juror. Yes, actually, Iris. I was just thinking exactly the same thing. Because Graydon would likely recognize the sound as well. I'm going to have to press the defense for an answer. Your assertion is that the sound produced by this music box is not in fact music at all. Then what the devil is it, counsel? All the evidence we've seen so far, all the testimony we've heard, it's all pointing to one single answer now. The prosecution demands that my learned Nipponese friend presents proof now. Tangible proof of this latest, wildest speculation. Let's do it. Alright then. This could be the best chance I'm going to get to fight back in this trial. If I'm right, it's going to join all the dots together. Alright. Oh, the evidence? Oh no, I wanted to just point at the lady. Alright. It might be the paper thing about stuff being leaked. I might go for that, actually. Because it's not letting us talk to the lady.
Take that!
Today's paper, Council. The headline is Pawnbroker perishes in pick purse plunder. Hardly supportive of your cause. No, my lord. I was hoping you'd look a little further down the page. Nailed it. Let's go. Further down. Ministry Mole, classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Yes, this is a very serious matter being investigated at the highest level, I understand. I have heard that international transmissions along supposedly secure lines are somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries. Presumably, those transmissions are in the form of wire telegrams? Of course. Juror number 5, your input, please. Stop. Oh, me, sir. Whatever's the matter. You told the court before that you worked at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not? Oh, Mr. Graydon's the one doing the actual leaking. Because he works at a communication station, he can actually do it. He can send it overseas. Yes, that's correct. The particular station where you work deals with government communications and newspaper reports. Oh, yes, we're not your run-of-the-mill communication station at all. Our work is extremely important. Then tell me, is this not a very familiar sound? You don't mean to say, is it? That's right, madam. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code. But I don't believe it. Nailed it. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from government departments, there could be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communications officer. Are you suggesting that the music box disc contains stolen government secrets and Morse code? Perfect. Perfect. Yes. Everything connecting together now. Please, everyone, order, but this is high treason, Council, deserving of capital punishment. Too much new vocabulary. What is this treason? And what is capital punishment? The sorts of words I'd half expect you to know. Wow. For a sovereign government's confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price. Yes, and on that night 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus. But in the end, McGill had perished, and the all-important disc lay unclaimed in the pawnbrokery. My word! In which case, whoever stole that information in the first place must surely have been beside himself with worry. Since if the disc were to be discovered before it found its way out of the country, it would reveal an act of high treason punishable by death. The culprit had no choice but to retrieve it. In order to do that, he would have to gain entry to the pawnbrokery illegally in the middle of the night. As the article left behind by Mr. McGill would incriminate him too much if it got into the wrong hands. Oh, that spin was crazy. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon? Yeah, you think I've been stealing government secrets. Preposterous, absolutely preposterous. So in response to the Defense's act, you claim complete innocence, do you? Well, of course I do. I've had to stand here in silence while that pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
Then by all means, counter the charges, sir. Let's go, Van Zeeks. The prosecution demands the witness testifies in response to the accusations brought by the defense. Delighted, I'm sure. More testimony and cross-examination coming up. The witnesses is reminded that the crime under scrutiny in this trial is the murder of the pawnbroker, Mr. Windibank. That being a most flagitious offense for which the law of this land sanctions a capital punishment. The heinous act of high treason is no less serious a crime. I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Graydon. So then, let us proceed. Who is this? You? You gotta let us have a rab and pork here, Governor. We got things to say. I beg your pardon. What do you think you are? Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is professional baddie. Name's Ringo Skulkin. Oh, we ain't baddies enough to sell out our motherland. That's right, we what they call the three Skulkin brothers. Please do it, Gregson. Bad timing, fellas. Very bad timing. So are they going to testify as well again? Maybe not, just has Graydon's counter. A mere communications officer couldn't possibly steal confidential government information. Besides, the sounds produced by that music box aren't even Morse code. There was some low-class brickmaker negotiating with McGilded anyway, was it not? I've no relation to the man. Look, all we done is break into the gaff the other night like what he told us to do. If we'd known there was dodgy government secrets involved, we wouldn't have touched it. Dude, I love that they're sort of on our side now. That's sick. We're doing good. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. One Mr. will do, Governor. What's up? Ooh, I take it that you now admit to the crime. That on the night in question you did indeed gain entry to the premises illegally. And moreover, you did so as a party of three in collaboration with Mr. Graydon here. They're admitting it, aren't they? We did, Gov, we did. Sick, this is great. Quiet down, please. What say you to that, Mr. Graydon? I have no idea what these two ruffians are referring to. You little rat are getting us mixed up in all this monkey business. You never said nothing about no government secrets. It was supposed to be a straight-up job. What about the geezer whose shop it was, eh? Poor old bloke didn't have to die, did he? Ah, nice to know who your friends are. Whatever these men say, I deny the accusations. Indeed. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting this little music box to become so significant in the proceedings. However, as it has, I will admit it into the court record as evidence. Alright, we have to examine it. Cross-examination time, baby. Court record first. Dude, our evidence is extensive. This is a big trial. Alright, let's look at this. This is the disc. See how the form Gilded disc sits in the music box the man deposited at Windibank's? Couldn't be a more perfect fit. So there's no question that the disc was designed to be played in this music box. Despite that, the sounds it produces are neither musical nor do they appear to have any meaning. This doesn't make any sense. I wonder if perhaps there's more to this music box than meets the eye. Maybe we haven't discovered all its secrets yet. So true. This little thing on the bottom, what's this? Oh, what is it, Runo? I've just noticed something about this music box. It looks like the bottom end opens up as well. Ah, you're right. Well, come on then, what are you waiting for? Let's open it. Alright then, here it goes. Look at that, there's another movement on the underside. So does that mean it's another disc to play back on this side? Yes, I think so, and it looks like the two movements are linked together. Linked? So if you had two discs, they would both play back at the same time. Oh, we need another disc. Who would have thought there would be a second movement under the underside of the box? This movement is like the other one. The comb's teeth are all the same length. So this movement also only produces a single tone like the other one? Yes, it must do. Except that the length of the teeth on the two combs isn't the same. So a single tone produced by this movement will be different to the single tone we've already heard. What? Basically, each movement can only produce a single note. The notes they produce are different. Music box that can only play 2 tones. Perfect. Perfect. I think that's all we have to look at now for this. This is good. We're gonna press this, of course. So is this newspaper headline accurate? Government and communications are being intercepted? How could I possibly know? What do you mean by that? Any important government communications are handled by high-level officers, by specialists. General members of staff in the station where I work would never be entrusted with sensitive information. Let me guess. Door number 5? We regular communications officers aren't as loyal as you're being led to believe. A team of us are responsible for setting up and testing telegraphs used by the ministry. Mr. Graydon is a team leader. That's fascinating. Why would you lie when someone who can call you out's right there? Graydon is highly skilled operator, stop. Currently in presence of idol, stop. She loves Graydon, that's hilarious. So you had access to the equipment used for these confidential communications, Mr. Graydon. Well, what of it? The transmissions are always made behind closed doors so they can't be heard. And in any case, all messages are sent in cipher. Normal employees couldn't possibly understand them. Oh, no, stop. Must say something, stop. Mr. Graydon regularly attends meetings with ministry technicians and the ministry communications team. He assists them in ensuring that there are no errors in important international communications. He's received the top prize at the Cipher Cracking Convention 5 years in a row now. That's fascinating. Dude, he's getting called out so much. Graydon is highly skilled operator, stop. Currently in presence of idol, stop. Great. Well, your idol would appreciate it if you keep your mouth shut. She should really pick her idols more carefully. I tell you, this lawyer's accusations are completely unfounded. That's great.
Hold it!
They're not? To anyone with a brain, that would be blatantly apparent on listening to that music box for even a few seconds. Because this music box, I'm going to go ahead and say it, usually when you have Morse code, you have 2 types of sounds. You have the taps, and you have long taps. When you have this music note, it only produces single tap sounds. But if you have 2 notes, each one could represent a different type of input, right? And it would be fine. Of course. Surely it can't be that my learned friend is unfamiliar with Morse code. Ouch, he looks genuinely shocked at my ignorance. I would be more than happy to demonstrate the basics for you, sir. A lesson here in court? Morse code is a continuous series of 2 distinct tones. Gosh, I'm on it. Tones, you say? Yes, a short dot and a long dash. By combining those in different ways, you construct letters. I see. For example, this is A, and this is B. But when you listen to the sound produced by this music box, you only hear 1 tone, don't you? But it sounds so familiar, the rhythm of it is the same in everything. But there's no discernible meaning to this apparently random sequence of sounds. So your assertion is fundamentally flawed. This is not Morse code. No, well, we have 2 tones. Really, you shouldn't be so surprised. What did I tell you? That music box is nothing but a worthless piece of scrap. Perhaps you might consider studying your subject matter before casting aspersions in future. Stop. Nothing to say but stop. Oh, it's so frustrating, isn't it? Paris? I mean, if the government secrets were somehow being leaked using the music box, so many other things would slot into place so nicely. Could there still be something I haven't considered? Would it really be impossible to use this music box somehow to play back Morse code? Give it a try. There's still every possibility that this music box was instrumental in the leaking of government secrets. That's the belief of the defense, at least.
Objection!
Does it please you in some way, my Nipponese friend? Repeat the same line of argument ad infinitum. It's already been established that to be Morse code, 2 tones are required. Dots and dashes. Yes, I'm well aware of that. Then what? Well, it would appear the defense has a hypothesis to put forward. You had better present your idea at once, counsel. How do you propose that this music box, which appears to produce only a single tone, could have been used to cipher secret messages into Morse code?
Got it!
Yes, this is it then. What? Oh, was I supposed to do something else? Was I supposed to open it? Oh, that's so stupid. It's so dumb. What a waste of my life. We got this. Ugh, popping bones. Ugh. No, hang on. We're gonna go back through this again.
Hold it!
I think I had to produce at the same point again, so we have to skip all the way through this again. I'm sorry. Can we do autoplay for this? Let's do autoplay. Wrong button. There we go. Oh, stretch my hands off the controller for a bit. Ooh. Get back through this. So how are y'all doing? How's life treating you? Are y'all doing good? I'm feeling great. I'm having the time of my life. Life is going pretty okay. I got a child coming. A second child coming in 3 months. Isn't that crazy? Absolutely bananas. I'm gonna be a 2-time dad. So that'll be fun. I don't know if anyone told you this, but being a parent is the best thing that can ever happen to you in your entire life. It really is. It's the most fulfilling thing I've ever done, and I love it so much. It's the best. So, don't be afraid if you are going to be a parent. It's going to make your life better. It really is. There's so much love there. With that being said, if you don't want to be a parent, if you want to be child-free, that's totally okay. There's no judgment there at all. Maybe you don't feel like you're ready for that sort of thing. Maybe you want, more freedom in your own life. Maybe you don't like the way the world is right now and you don't want to raise a child in this world. That's totally fine, So that's a totally okay choice too. I'm just saying, for me, it's the best decision I've ever made, That's all. But the first month of being a parent, maybe not the first month, maybe like the first few months, very tough. Very, 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 very tough.
Objection!
A lot of sleep lost. Because baby gets up a lot of dirty diapers, a lot of feeding. It's tough. Especially if you haven't done it ever. Or in a long time. Because we have a child who can now, mostly feed themselves, can take care of themselves, So it's weird going back to square one again, But I'm so excited. What a weird tangent for me to go on. I'm so sorry. That's totally unrelated to what we were doing. I'm just trying to get back to where we were at. And it looks like we've made it. So can we open this? We can. We have to open it. Okay. We don't just present the whole part. We have to actually open it. And then we'll be good. Perfect. Perfect. Come on, get me there. We have to be very careful not to make another error, by the way, because we get set back a good bit.
Got it!
There we go. Good gracious, what am I looking at here? Another movement on the underside of the music box? What? It appears, my lord, that the 2 movements are linked together. In other words, you can put 2 discs in this music box, and the sounds of both will play back at the same time. Good heavens! As the court has heard, Morse code comprises of 2 tones, a short dot and a long dash. With a second disc in place, this music box could be used to generate Morse code and convey a message. That's right. This is beyond a joke. I'm sorry? This poor excuse for a lawyer has absolutely no evidence to support his claims. Though, of course, if my learned friend were able to present the court with a second disc, that would be another matter. Well, I can't at the moment. And may I remind the court that, as the witness has pointed out, he was not the one in the omnibus with Magilda 2 months ago, striking a deal over the disc or discs. Gee, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. Exactly, I had nothing whatsoever to do with it. Though it has holes, I must admit the argument presented by the defense has much promise. I believe the cross-examination should continue. The link between Graydon and the victim in the omnibus case must be there somewhere. I haven't found it yet. Oh dear, it looks like you need to give your argument more strength, Ryuno. You will reiterate your testimony if you please, Mr. Graydon. If I must, though I maintain exactly what I did at the start of this pointless cross-examination. Alright, so this one should still be the same. Oh, no. Go back. I thought we were at the first one. Okay, so that's still written the same way. Okay. So this is what we had to prove next, it looks like. That there is a relation there. 2 months ago in that omnibus, Magilda killed the brickmaker and stole the disc. Mr. Mason was a single man with almost nothing to his name. It seems he lived in an artisan quarter some years ago. But people there remember little about him. It doesn't make much sense though, does it? How would a humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information? How indeed. Aha. I got it. I think that the information was meant to go from Graydon to the brickmaker to Magilda, and that's why I had 4 Magilda written on the disc. Graydon was sending the disc to Magilda. That's what the connection is. There must have been somebody else involved behind the scenes in all of this. Somebody who acquired the disc and gave it to Mr. Mason, in order to take it to the meeting with Magilda and negotiate a deal. Dear me. You may have it in for me, sir, but I assure you I have far more class than that. Old brickmaker from Artisan Court and this well-to-do communications officer. Only I could find some evidence to link the two of them together. If you have nothing more to add on that note, let us return to the witness testimony. Alright, let's press on this.
Hold it!
Like Mr. Graydon told you to do, you mean? That's it, yeah. Who else, eh? Silly me thought he was just popping over for a natter after all them years, but the runner had a naughty job for us. Eh, Ash? Let me stop you there, Mr. Skulkin. After all them years, you say? You mean to tell me that Mr. Graydon is an acquaintance of yours? We're the sociable kind of baddies, you know. Sure, let's say Graydon's an old China.
Excuse me.
See what this little guy has to say. Something wrong, Mr. Skulkin? Eh? Other Skulkin. No, the other Mr. Skulkin. What? Oh, me? When your brother was testifying just now, you said something that seemed to cause you to react. Oh, I was just remembering the old days, that's all. We used to have a right old laugh together way back when. Together with Mr. Graydon, you mean? Yeah, with Ash. I mean, you look at him now in his fancy whistle and flute and you wouldn't add him either. But when he was younger, he was from the poor part of town, just like us. That's so. But he was always a leery one. He had the brains, he had the savvy. Always coming up with smart ideas like what would never have gone through our heads. God blimey, ain't that the truth? Remember Milton and Skulkin's milk run? That was a corker, eh? Save it until after the trial. Your reminiscing has no place in this courtroom. And neither does your fruit. Oh, the geezer asked us a question, didn't he? And we was answering. Yeah, he ain't done nothing wrong. Nevertheless, the court is not prepared to accompany you on your trip down memory lane. Counsel, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please? Oh no, could that sentimental story be relevant somehow? My lord. Yes, counsel. The brother's last sentimental statement could hold vital information relating to this case. Very well, counsel. I'll permit the brothers to supplement their testimony with that detail. Briefly, I hasten to add. Love the poses. Say no more, a skulkin's never skulkin'. Militant and Skulkin's milk run, or the rare more days.
Hold it!
I'm sure I'm going to regret asking, but what exactly was that? Some kind of business? Just a little scheme we had going back when we was youngsters. A bit of fun, really. Delivering fresh milk to the locals, that's what it was all about. That sounds alarmingly legitimate. There must be a catch. I suppose since we're here, I should ask them to elaborate, but on what? The business model. So how did your little business work exactly? Well, every morning down our way, the milkman would come with his cart to deliver the milk, see? You stuck your empties out your front door, he would leave you full again, right? So we swooped on the action, got people to sign up with us. We promised to deliver milk for half the price of the other geezers doing it. People couldn't wait to sign on the dotted line. We were raking it in, we were. So did you live on a dairy farm or something? Gordon Bennett, are you off your rocker? We had nothing, we were too poor to have a farm. Right. No, we had going on was simple once you had the idea. We just switched them over, see? Our customers' empties were the full ones from anyone who wasn't on our books. Interesting. I see. I think that maybe the music box case was switched with another music box had a disc in it, you know? I doubt, alright? I think he meant to say a diddle. That's a crime. It was just an harmless bit of fun, that's all. Milking the general public in such a fashion is most certainly not harmless, as you put it. Milking. Hilarious. Good pun. Well, it was him come up with the idea. Ash is the evil genius. You mean Mr. Graydon? Yeah, Ash always had his head in a book when we was growing up. Said he was gonna get himself an animation and get out of that slum we lived in. Boy, we all ragging about that, didn't we? Told him he was soft in the head to even think it. Man, I bet they all grew up in the arts quarter. Look at him now. He's only gone and become a blinking communications officer, ain't he? Communications officer, Mr. Skulkin. Sholmes and Wilson's milk run. No, Iris, don't even think about it. All of a sudden, we seem to be up to our necks in a serious matter of national security. Although all this talk about interception of secret government messages is still just conjecture at this stage. It would explain a number of things, though, wouldn't it? Negotiations Ginny overheard on the omnibus 2 months ago and the break-in at Windibanks. The trouble is, wasn't Mr. Graydon in the omnibus with Mr. McGilded? It wasn't Mr. Graydon in the omnibus with Mr. McGilded. Oh, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker, who was so horribly murdered. If only there was some link between the two men somehow. I know, but Mr. Graydon's testimony seems to be as watertight as ever. I wonder if the Keto is making headway with the cross-examination here. Could be those two brothers. Alright, maybe we press the other way around with them. Not about what the business was like.
Hold it!
We'll get more information. So let's do that. No stone unturned, you know? Alright. Follow-up question. The name this time. So this business was just a bit of fun, you say? Now it's just yourselves and Mr. Graydon involved? Yeah, that's it. Milverton and Skulkin's Milk Run, was it? Yeah, that's it. Who's Milverton? And where did the Milverton part come from? Oh, right, I thought a clever clock like you had worked that one out. That it says... Enough of this. How much longer are we expected to listen to this drivel? Let me guess, you don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying? Tell me, why is it that it was only at the mention of the name Milverton that you decided to interject? Because well... It weren't the happiest of homes that one came from. Yeah, his old man was struggling for money so much his wife walked out on him. He took the name Graydon then, see? But Ash will always be Milverton to us. Milverton. Milvertons. So that used to be your surname, did it? Of course not. This is all bunkum. I've been a Graydon since I was born. You really think you can rely on the testimony of these two thieves, hmm? You're a communications officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment. It would be a very simple matter indeed to subpoena those records, Mr. Graydon. Well, it would appear that Mr. and Mr. Skulkin's testimony has been reliable, for once. You were born Ashley Milverton, then. Is that correct? Very well, yes. So Ashley Graydon was once Ashley Milverton. That information could change things. Could turn out to be extremely important. Interesting. Oh, yeah, we're still missing... Let's look for anything about Milverton, I guess. I don't think there is anything in our evidence so far. But we haven't pressed on this one yet.
Hold it!
So let's do that as well. So did you know nothing about this music box? We didn't know nothing. We still don't know nothing. We plan on knowing nothing about it neither. 2 nights ago, you did indeed break into Windibank's pawnbrokery, didn't you? In your original testimony, you said that the door of the shop was ajar and that it was like some kind of a sign, begging you to go in. But the truth is, you were planning to break into Windibank's all along, weren't you? We were, Gov, we were. You're right there. Because that's what he told us to do. It was his plan. And why was it Mr. Graydon's plan to break into Windibank's that night? Did you not ask the reason? Well, he said the place was full of stuff worth nicking. That's what he told us beforehand, anyway. Turned out it was a load of cobblers, ain't it? I weren't best pleased, I can tell ya. In any case, if they know the real reason, it doesn't sound like they're going to give it away. Yeah, okay. Okay, I should have gone backwards instead of forwards, but that's okay. So scary, though. It's scary because we only have one failure left, you know, before we actually step back a bit. Which would not be fun. Yeah. Okay. So it's something with this one that we had to present. Let's look at our options here. Is there anything with Milverton that we have? I don't think so. This is the one owned by Mr. Windibank. So this is for the overcoat, yeah. This one is for the box, yeah. Okay. Nothing here, I don't think. Nothing that says Milverton. Nope. Double check any Milvertons. No, no Milvertons. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. We got him. Detective writes the name of the victim. The brickmaker was Milverton.
Objection.
Mr. Ashley Milverton? Tell me, why did you try to hide your former name from the court? Because I haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me. No, I don't think that's the real explanation at all. The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name. Explain yourself, please, counsel. I have here the notes from the omnibus case, my lord. And as we all know, the victim, the man who we now understand to have been negotiating with McGilded. Yes, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. That's right, only Mason wasn't his surname at all. It was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton. Milverton? Do you mean to say, saints alive? Mr. Ashley Milverton, is it not the case that the brickmaker, Mr. Mason Milverton, was your father? Perfect. I don't. As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history will have been thoroughly checked when you join the civil service, and it really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena those records. The truth is, you have been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information, selling it onto McGilded in collaboration with your father. There we go. There we go, that's it. New facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth. The truth, you say? That you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in illegal dealings with Magnus McGilded. By attend to this music box, you mean, counsel? Yes, stealing information being sent in secret government communications, and selling it on to McGilded. Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme of using 2 music box discs to encode the information, as presumably a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands. And a very effective one. I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever. But the deal with McGilded went sour, and the brickmaker met his end. Yes, but before he was arrested, McGilded managed to temporarily dispose of the stolen disc at the pawnbrokery. Then, having learned of the situation, you appeared at Windibank's 2 days ago, in an attempt to recover the 2 articles McGilded had placed on pawn there. But that attempt failed. I love that he's on our side. One of the discs was seized by the police and the other, we never found. So that same night, you enlisted the help of the Skulkin brothers and broke into the pawnbrokery. This time, determined to recover the second disc. Are you suggesting that the second disc was inside the music box? Dude, look at their faces! We never knew nothing about that. On the night that Mr. Windibank was killed. Yeah, he opened the box to check for the other disc. Yes. You didn't need to take the box if you had both the discs. The intruder to the pawnbrokery touched one item and one item alone. The music box. I was rather ingeniously demonstrated using the 2 prints from the security camera, indeed. But the question that naturally begs answering is this: why was only that one article disturbed? The answer is obvious, because it contained the second disc, which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since, if it were to fall into the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. Well, Mr. Graydon, do you deny that all this actually began on that fateful night 2 months ago? Dude, is he gonna admit it? I refuse to accept any of this nonsense. No, brother. Sir? There appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket. What? Ah. 2 nights ago, we know that 3 shots were fired at the scene of the crime in Windibake's pawnbrokery. One took the life of the pawnbroker himself. One struck the pouch around Mr. Sholm's waist. And the final bullet struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having first pierced the arm of one of the intruders. Mr. Graydon, that wound on your arm that you seem to be trying to hide, it's a bullet wound, isn't it? Dude, we're doing so good. He has got you now, me old China. Time to call it quits and croak, I reckon. Don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever. Those were my terms, remember? And I paid you handsomely to comply. Yep. Clearly I was a fool to think I could trust some common backslum thieves. Fine, I admit it. I was there in Windibanks that night. I paid this pair 10 guineas to accompany me, and as you've noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures. This is huge. But that is all. I admit to nothing more. Stealing government secrets? Negotiating with Mr. McGilded? As God is my witness, I'm sure I recall nothing of the sort. He's not gonna go down without a fight. Not until I can show how hard evidence, I suppose. Nevertheless, the defense has now established a crucial fact. Which is... well, we know that one bullet was fired from each of the 2 firearms we have in evidence. The bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun hit the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the bullet from Mr. Windibake's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon on the arm. Indeed it must. We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself. And that leads us to only one conclusion. Mr. Windibake was shot by a 3rd gun, which can only have been fired by the 3rd intruder. Goodness! That's right, Mr. Graydon. The only person who could possibly have shot Mr. Windibake that night is you.
Hold it!
Oh, that's his voice? You laughing? God, I hate when they laugh. You little upstart. You made a grave mistake when you summoned me here. What? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, as you rightfully say, I was there at the pawnbroker's. We still have to find out what he was negotiating about with Inspector Gregson. I did my best to hide the facts, naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I'd built for myself at the communication station. But did the thought never cross your mind? Did you never consider the possibility? What did you mean? What thought? What possibility? The possibility that if I was there at the scene, I may have witnessed the crucial moment. You see, this makes me a key witness in this case, and I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client. What? Are you suggesting? I saw it all. I saw the very moment that pickpocket girl pointed the gun at that poor defenseless pawnbroker and shot him. No way. Lying. Order. Well, It would seem we are finally entering the last act of this theatrical trial. Mr. Graydon. Yes? I trust you are fully aware of the implications here. If it is shown that your claim is false, you will have incriminated yourself as the killer. Oh, I understand fully. Then I must ask you to give your formal testimony once more. You'll explain to the court precisely what you saw at the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim. Nothing would give me greater pleasure. And fuck this guy. And this is what we're going to stop at. Next time we're going to go through this testimony because we are far into this video. He's obviously about to lie his butt off about the shooting, you know, and we're going to poke holes in it. But it feels good getting information on the disc today and linking together the bigger conspiratorial government part with this case feels great. Everything is starting to really connect. I think we only have, I can only think of really 2 really curious mysteries still going on. Maybe 3 or 4. One is, what's the deal with Sasato? How does she know about the manuscript? 2, what are the negotiations about between Gregson and Graydon? 3, is the murderer from our first case, the lady, is she linked to any of this in any way? And 4th, what is the link of the victim to this case, if any, right? Of that first case. So, very curious. Still some things to discover. Whatnot. Oh, and a 5th mystery, I guess. How exactly did Gina come to be knocked out, right? That's still not clear. She made it sound like she just fainted, so I think it may have been some sort of chemical she came into contact with, but I don't know. That's all I got. Today was a fun one. We made good progress. And yeah, that's all I got. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you take care of others. And I'll see you next time. Peace out.